Well, crazy things are happening here in Michigan tonight, but across the nation, Miami, number 10 seed in the college football playoff, takes down the number 6 seed. Both 2 and 3 were out. They beat those guys. It was an amazing game in the semifinals. It was thundering in January in Michigan, and lightning was striking in Michigan. That's not supposed to happen. But as George Carlin says, the planet is pissed off. It's not the gods creating thunder. It's the planet. The people are overstaying their welcome. And yet again, a bunch of degenerates got together to watch this game. Didn't give a damn about weather. This one was in a dome. But Miami, man, what a win. They carried the lead all game long, basically, dominating time of possession, keeping Ole Miss off the field early in this game, who they rely on up-tempo and a ton of plays. Ole Miss got a tipped interception, which changed some of that momentum late in this game. In the fourth quarter, it was 17-16. Miami still had the lead, even though Ole Miss's kicker missed one off the upright earlier and then made one off the upright, I should say. They were within 1 point. Ole Miss's defense got 2 sacks in the next series to get the ball back. And right about then is when I was thinking, man, Lane Kiffin said, damn it, I should have stayed. Probably he was thinking that to himself. I'm sure he was, because he should have stayed there. He should have built them into a power that they could be. He already is accused of tampering with other players at LSU. That probably wouldn't have happened at Ole Miss if you just stayed. He thinks LSU's the better job, where if he stayed and won it all this season, I believe Ole Miss would have the better future than LSU going forward, but he did not want to change the tide. He went with it. He is not a trendsetter. He is a follower. When are people going to realize that? But anyway, with 8:54 left, Miami had a targeting call on cornerback Lucas. It was their second time that they targeted someone. This one was called. And then a late hit after that on Miami cost them more yards. But on 3rd and goal, it was incomplete, and Ole Miss kicked another field goal. They had to go for 3 instead of 7, and it was 19-17 with 7 minutes left in this game. What could happen in 7 minutes? A lot. There was a pass interference on Ole Miss that gave Miami a 15-yard head start the very next possession. Fletcher had a 16-yard run to put Miami in field goal range. Malachi Toney had a 36-yard screen and run up the middle for a touchdown, high-stepping the last defender. Beautiful play. 24-19 it was for Miami. But with 5 minutes left for Ole Miss, they needed to get a touchdown, and guess what? They did. But they also scored too early, leaving 3:13 left. But on their drive, on the first play, it was 21 yards from Chambliss to right. And then on 3rd and 8, Miami was called a timeout on defense to get the play right. But it didn't matter. After that timeout, there was a pass interference on Miami that gave Miss the first down. Chambliss then had a 19-yard run, and then Wright got the 24-yard touchdown strike from Chambliss the very next play to put Miss up 1 point. Then they got the 2-point conversion to win, to put them up 3 to get a field goal lead, 27-24. But as I said, there was still 13 minutes plus left for Miami. But Miami only had 2 timeouts left because of that timeout that they called trying to stop Miss on defense the series before. It was looking like Ole Miss was going to come away with this. They had momentum, but Oregon's former coach, former player from Miami, goes back. Now he's in the national title game. He allowed it to go to the 2-minute warning here at this moment. And Miami had a 3rd and 8. And on the sideline, of course, the officials called the face mask. It was on the sideline, pass interference, whatever you want to call it. It's a 15-yard penalty, and it's an automatic first down. They needed another first down to get into field goal range, but that didn't end up mattering either because they got the touchdown to win this game. On 3rd and 6, Daniel stretched for the first down. He had it, came back, and then went back forward. I don't understand why they do that, but he did get the first down. Coach would have reamed his ass if he didn't. And on 3rd and 10 later, with 1 minute left in this game, Marion had a 17-yard catch over the middle, and Beck was knocked down and forced Miami's second timeout with 37 seconds left after that. And no, they didn't call the timeout. Guess who called the last 2 timeouts on defense? Ole Miss. Ole Miss called a timeout for them. Stupid. That was stupid. Instead of forcing them to get to the line, come up with a play, or call a timeout on their own, they called it for them. They would do it again. Marion had a 10-yard catch. And on 1st and goal for Miami, Ole Miss called another timeout for Miami. What the fuck are we doing? Is this what Lane Kiffin would have did? I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe. Then Miss only had 3. They only sent 3 after that timeout. And they over-pursued. They did not keep contained, and there was no one else there. So, of course, Beck scrambled. He stepped up into the pocket, got into the fight, and scrambled for the first down. And the go-ahead score, actually, with 18 seconds left in this game. He ran it into the end zone. It was 31-27 Miami. They won the game by that score. There was a with 6 seconds left, Ole Miss was at midfield and had a shot to the end zone, and I do believe that was defensive pass interference in the end zone, which should have been an untimed down at the 2-yard line, but it wasn't called. I digress. The SEC is out. The SEC is not going to win the national title for the 3rd year in a row. Miami now gets to take on the Big Ten, who won the last 2 national titles and going for their 3rd. That will happen 2 Mondays from now. That is so stupid. Why is there so much time in between these games? Why is college trying to stretch it out into February? I don't get it. We got the NFL and we got college basketball and hockey for that. End your season, shorten your season. We don't need this anymore. There's no other games on that day in college. It's stupid. There's no bowl games. I don't get it. But the SEC is out. They were a team that didn't have production on the lines of scrimmage. That is Miami I'm talking about right here. At the beginning of the season, that's what I thought. They didn't have returning, experienced production. They didn't make my list of national title contenders. And I regretted it all but 2 weeks this season, because they had 2 losses, and it wasn't good. They lost to 2 bad ACC teams. But now they have a shot. So I want to congratulate Miami for making it to the national title, even though Dependent Fanatic and others may have said there's no way you can. By the way, the national title is going to be played in Miami, so that helps. Versus an Oregon or Indiana fan base that has to travel again after going various places. Now they have to come back home and then go to Miami. It's tough for the Big Ten, always. But at least it's not going to be Alabama and it's not going to be Ohio State in the national title, as national title winners this season. Miami, Indiana, or Oregon. Indiana and Oregon play tomorrow. I can't wait for that game. This one was a thriller. Like I said, congratulations to Miami. Lane Kiffin should have stayed at Ole Miss. They probably would have won that game. But, he chased greener pastures even though his team was in the playoff. It was unprecedented. That was stupid. But, yeah, Mario Cristobal came back home. As a Michigan fan, I can appreciate that. We had a coach that graduated from here and came back home and won us a national title. Can Miami do it? We'll see. I tend to believe that Indiana is going to beat Oregon and Indiana is going to win the national title, their first one ever. It would be Oregon's first one ever, too. And it would have been Ole Miss's if they won. First recognized national title by the media for them. But Miami's in there right now. What you guys got 5, maybe 6. We'll see. Have a great night out there, everybody, and we'll see you on the next video. Can't wait for Indiana and Oregon. Let's go.